We now move on to the third speaker, who will speak to us on tribal rights advocacy. Dr. Ajay Kumar is originally from Andhra Pradesh, but left his home state and moved to Assam. He lives and works among the missing tribal people and Adivasi communities in Assam. Dr. Kumar has established tuition centers, providing free education to children in rural communities, and organizes free medical camps providing medicines and healthcare to the tribal communities. He's the founder and director of Care Mission and Timothy School of Theology, Assam. In addition, Dr. Kumar is currently pursuing a law degree at Johar Law College so that he can better advocate for legal rights of tribal communities. He serves in Assam along with his wife Vijayalakshmi and two young daughters. We invite Dr. Ajay Kumar to speak on the topic tribal rights advocacy. Over to you, Dr. Ajay Kumar.
Greetings to you all in the matchless name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. First of all, I thank God who has given me this wonderful privilege to spend some time with you and to speak with a prominent and important topic. And also my special thanks to Madam Joycika, who has doing this moderator. And also my special thanks to Sir John Matthew for giving me this wonderful privilege. So today's my special topic that is given to me is tribal rights advocacy. So here you can see that threat to the Adivasis, India's original inhabitants. Out of 100 million people, 8% of the population were Adivasis. Today, mainly I'm going to focus on Munda, Santali, Gond, Khasi, and Mizo communities. Land is not a property to them, but land is an identity to them, and it is a lineage and the ground on which their dead are buried. To lose land is not merely to become poor, but it is lose oneself. Tribal people used to call land as their mother, and tribal people used to say that land is their god. What was happening? When we go to history, we can see that Jamindars, Dikus, and moneylenders stripping ancestral land through fraudulent contracts and impossible debts from these Adivasis or from these tribal people. There is a huge legal gap between these colonial courts and these Adivasi people because colonial courts recognized only written documents, not unwritten customary laws by which Adivasi communities governed for centuries. Languages with no written form, communities unable to petition, document rights, or engage the colonial state at all. So here we can understand the problem is in thus taking their lands by forcefully and stripping land from the Adivasis or from the tribal people. If they want to go to the court need written documents, but these people doesn't have any written documents and they don't have even literacy also. They have only oral tradition. So that is the problem with this Adivasi and tribal people. My dear brothers and sisters, here I would like to say that one movement and 4 regions, Chota Nagpur, that is at Jharkhand, and Santal Parganas, that is Bengal and Bihar, and Central India, Gond, Baiga, Oran, and Northeast India, Khasi, Mizo, Naga, and Garo. What was being destroyed? For example, if we see Chota Nagpur or Jharkhand, Munda communal land rights seized through fraudulent contracts and debt. Begari, forced labor. It was the problem in Chota Nagpur. Now it is known as Jharkhand. And when it comes to the Santal Parganas, no written language for them, unable to write any petition, unable to write any document. They don't have any documents on even on their lands and their rights. Severe money lender exploitation was held at the Santal Parganas. And when it comes to Northeast India, languages with no written form, communities unable to petition, document rights, or engaged colonial course. That was the biggest problem. So from this problem, the legislative outcome when it comes to Chota Nagpur Tenancy Act 1908, of course, it is still in force in Jharkhand. It is added in 9th schedule of the constitution. And when it comes to the Santal Pargana Tenancy Act 1855 and 1949, Santali added to 8th schedule an official language at 2003. And when it comes to Gon, Baiga and Oran, 5th schedule of the constitution, protecting tribal lands, restricting land transfer, mandating tribal advisory councils. And when it comes to Kasi, Mizo, Naga and Garo, 6th schedule, tribal autonomous governance in Northeast. 3 major Christian states, Meghalaya, Mizoram, and Nagaland. So, my dear brothers and sisters, we have to know how this reformation, how this social justice came to these people, how this human dignity came for them, who stand for this Adivasi, or who stood for these tribal people, how these 6 forms of advocacy came into reality. See, from village petition to the Constituent Assembly, Indian Christian legal petitions, the Sardari Larai from 1855, Christian Munda and Oran Sardars petitioned the Viceroy and Secretary of State for land rights 27 years before foreign advocate arrived. We will see little more clear in the coming scripts, in the coming portion. So, legal defense in colonial courts. Father Levens wins recognition of unwritten tribal customary law in colonial courts, the first time tribal land rights had legal standing. And legislation, the Chota Nagpur Tenancy Act. Hoffman drafts the CNT Act 1908, prohibition tribal land transfers to non-tribals, still in force in Jharkhand today. Breaking the moneylanders' grip. 1909, Hoffman's Raiffeisen Model Cooperative Credit Society gives tribal families access to fair credit and that ending debt bondage. Creating written languages. Khasi, 1841. Santali, 1860s. Mijo, 1894. Mundhari. Literacy was the precondition for every other form of advocacy. The Constituent Assembly, Jaipal Singh Munda. Yes, we are going to study about him in further slides. So, let me tell you about this Jaipal Singh Munda. He was born in 1903 in a teeny Munda Christian village. Herded cattle as a child, noticed by SPG mission workers, and enrolled at St. Paul's School, Ranchi, sent to St. John's College, and later he went to Oxford University, and he finished his degree in economics in 1926. And also, India selected in 1928 for Amsterdam Olympics. At that time, India got the Olympic gold medal in hockey, and this Jaipal Singh Munda was the captain for this gold medal hockey team. And in 1939, he founded Adivasi Mahasabha, first national organization for tribal rights. And he is the first national organization for tribal rights. He raised his voice for the people, for his tribal people. And he was from the Christian background. He came to know the love of God, and that love he showed towards his people, not with words, but through his actions. That is more important. Most of the times we used to show our love through words, but we can see many Christian missionaries, they showed the love not with words, but with their actions. And in 1946, he elected to Constituent Assembly, the only representative of all India's tribal communities. And he shaped Article 244, 5th schedule. That's 5th schedule speaks about Central India and land rights. And 6th schedule that speaks about Northeast tribal governance. Yes, of course, still it is active course even in today. And let me also bring out one more Christian missionary, Father Constant Levens, S.J. He arrived at Thorpa, Chota Nagpur in March 1885. He found tribal families losing land daily to fraudulent contracts and debt. And he made a decision that speaking of justice made no sense if the Mundas were not first re-established in their basic rights. He learned Mundari. He studied tribal customary land law, the Kunkati system, in exhaustive detail. He argued before English magistrates that unwritten tribal customary law deserved legal standing, and even he warned. Word spread through tribal villages. There is a priest in Torf who can stop the Dikus taking your land. So he gave a hope to the tribal people. By 1891, a mission of 73,000, and unfortunately, he died of tuberculosis at the age of 37. His successor, Hoffman, turned this principle into the Constitution Act 1908. Here, let me bring out few examples that how this literary revolution came out from Kasi and Santali and Mizo and Mundari or Orion. So when it comes to Kasi, Thomas Jones, he played a major role to bring these contributions to this Kasi literature. Before him, Kasi language had no proper written form. He developed the Kasi script using Roman letters. He wrote Kasi grammar and helped standardize Kasi writing. And also he did Bible translation into Kasi language. He also translated hymns and Christian teaching materials. He started schools in Kasi areas. He engaged Kasi children to learn their language and their skills. So he educated Kasi people, and in that way, he brought the literacy revolution among these Kasi people. And when it comes to Santali, we can see that Scarce Fred is remembered as the pioneer missionary among Santals. He did not treat Santals as uncivilized, but he tried to understand their customs, their traditions, and their language and their social life. And he loved Santali people, so he decided to give them language literacy. He strongly believed that the gospel should be preached in the mother tongue. Then only these people can understand. And he helped in developing Santali grammar and literature. So, and when it comes to Mizo, James Lorian, Baptist Mission, he did a great work among Mizo people. Before Lorian and Savage came, the Mizo had no written script. The Mizo language was mainly oral. Lorian helped in reducing Mizo language into written form. They used Roman English letters to create the Mizo alphabet, and this became the foundation of modern Mizo writing. Beginning, Lorian started teaching Mizo how to read and write. He opened small schools. He trained young Mizo boys to read and write in their own language. Literacy began spreading through villages. In that way, he brought the revolution, literary revolution among Mizo people. And when it comes to Mundari, Orion, so Gossamer Mission, which was established, and it brought wonderful mission work in Munda and Oran Ho Santal. Their mission work contributed to tribal literacy, Bible translation, education, and they have started schools, church formation. So the literary revolution we have completed, and the coalition leaders at the center, the Christian Sardars for Hoffman S.J., Thomas Joan, Paul Dayal, and Unnati Sanaj. So, and from village code to constitution, it started 1841. Thomas Jones creates Kasi alphabet, Roman script model, and spreads to Mizo, Naga, and Garo. And 1845, Grosvenor Mission Schools, first literate Munda and Oran generation. And 1858, Sardari Larai, Indian Christian Sardars petition Viceroy for land rights. And 1885, Father Levens wins in colonial court, tribal customary law gets legal standing for its time. And 1908, Chota Nagpur Tenancy Act, Hoffman draft it, protects tribal land still in force today. And 1909, Chota Nagpur Catholic Cooperative Credit Society breaks moneylenders' grips And 1928, Jaipal Singh Munda captains India to first Olympic gold Amsterdam. And in 1939, Adivasi Mahasabha founded first national tribal rights organization. And in 1950, Article 244, fifth schedule, sixth schedule, tribal land protected in constitution. And in 2000, Jharkhand state created on Birsa Munda's birthday, fulfilling 60-year campaign. But unfortunately, when I'm studying this subject, I came to know that this contribution of the missionaries became on the papers, but still did not come into reality. This is a really sad news that I'm bringing in front of you, because as we know the real incident which happened in 2023 in Manipur, whereas people, those who don't have ST status, they are trying to get the ST status that they also can occupy the land of the ST people. So we know what happened there. So, my dear brothers and sisters, even till today, the fight is going on between two people to get ST status and to get their land. Their land. Even still, the people are fighting for their land. That is happening all over India. Unfortunately, these laws became for paper. But whatever it may be, the movement that built land protected by law and language preserved and constitutional protections and indigenous advocacy model, and still we have to stand for the people, tribal people, and we have to fight for the people, and we should become the voiceless to the voice, and we also should pray for the tribal people. May God bless you all. Thank you so much for giving me this wonderful privilege to bring out my presentation.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Ajay Kumar, for your very scholarly presentation, which came from your work experience working with the tribal communities. You rightly highlighted the Adivasis are the India's original inhabitant, but today they are dispossessed because of various reasons like legal gap, language gap, etc. Thank you also for highlighting the sixth form of advocacy, the legal petitions, legislation, writing languages, legal defense in courts, breaking the moneylenders and the Constituent Assembly, through which Article 244 and the fifth and sixth schedule were highlighted. Also, thank you for bringing that beautiful story of Jaipal Munda, who was part of the hockey team, the winning hockey team of India. And I also want to thank you for telling us about how the mission movements contribute to the literature, language of this tribal community, which empowered them so very, very much. Overall, we see the fingerprint of Indian Constitution, which is mostly scripted by the Christian leaders, the mission movements, and Indian Christian leaders who have brought today the empowerment of all these communities. Thank you so much for sharing your thought and your experience and your work with us, Dr. Ajay Kumar.